it through college and high school. Like I was just like, you know what I mean? But were you the most successful?
Right.
Are you trying to be your most successful self? If you are, you need a tangible plan, boo. Because this is what we start doing for Conscious, because we have people inboxing us constantly, emailing us constantly. We want to work with y'all. We want to say, oh, perfect. I'm super happy you want to work with us. Send me some meeting notes. I'm going to send it to my board of directors.
Right.
And then we're going to reach out. I ain't never got a meeting. You was just going to wing a meet? No, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to keep going on these lunch and I'm bringing the whole like, okay, everybody going to be, because anytime we do something, you know, we have to have the board. I might as well just have them present versus saying, so we like every single time I said, you know what, we're finna cut all this short. We're finna see how serious
people are. Yeah.
All you got to do is send me 5 things. I'm going to talk to you about this. I ain't even talking about no whole outline. Right. But you know, perception is real. Well, however you want to take it. Yeah. All I say is send me some meeting notes on what we want to talk about so that I can brief the team before we have you at our meeting. And we'd be like, okay, this time is open for this. We have our notes. We have questions. We prepare.
Nobody does it.
I ain't never heard from none of these people ever.
Yeah, a lot of people don't plan.
So I'm a huge planner. Like everything we do is like paper on paper. But like when we did Conscious Fest, I probably revised that at least 10 times. Like the original looks nothing like the final product because it got better.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and I was like, not this. So like, but that allowed, and then for myself and my own, you know, professional development, I can go back. So now that I'm writing our next project plan for 2017 for something else,
you can go back and see.
I literally pulled up side by side and was able to say, okay, this worked. This is what the university liked. This is what they didn't. This is what I like. This is what I did. So like, it's a way to take yourself seriously. It's the bar. So you can wing all day and you can make it. You can make it by winging. But do you want to work harder or smarter?
That's true.
Best self?
That's true.
And what do you want to be known for? Because I can tell a restaurant they wing it. I know a lot. I can tell. Yeah. I know you ain't got no business. Let me see your business plan, baby.
I know.
Got no business plan.
I can
too. Good recipe. You found a building. What's going on?
That's what I be like. And they be shut down. And it's unfortunate. And what
was that stat you said? You said within 5 years?
Oh, yeah. Within 5 years, 88% of black businesses fail before their 5th year in business. And then 88%. 88. That's like that's a lot. And
you start talking about like not having resources, and I think it's easier for immigrants to get the resource.
Definitely.
But then also you have to look at it like their situation too. One thing that black people, just Americans, don't do, we don't really shack up together. You know, immigrants.
We was just we have
immigrants.
Our view. Okay, for instance, I worked at Rittner School District in registration. When those families that come in, number one, in our culture is, when you graduate from high school, you got to get out, you got to get a job, you got to go to the army, or you got to go to that. You have these expectations placed on you, these adult expectations, even though you're only 18. You're not fully an adult yet. You know what I'm saying? You're not fully mature. You're not fully able. You don't have full credit. You don't have full, these things to get out there and actually make it on your own and be successful. With other cultures, I sit at Rittner and I see a married couple come up that are living with their parents in their paid for home that they own. They're married. Their child is going to Rittner, but mom and dad are going to retire and go to Mexico or whatever. They have the house now. And all they have to do is pay taxes on the house. Oh, they finished college. Staying with mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? They finished college. So they already have their career aligned. They already are married. They already have a home that they own. And now they just go on about life. Good credit, able to start a business if they want to, able to save up and do the things that they need to do. But, Candace and me were just talking about how she went to the bank and she saw I guess it was a Chinese or Vietnamese, one of those ethnicities, sitting around. It was a whole family. And it was a young couple, just got married. The whole family pitched in for the down payment on their house. Where else do you see that in our culture? Wow. Do you see, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel we have to get back. We have to get back to this community and this village to where we're able to support each other, not where we're constantly throwing each other out into the wolves and being like, you gotta make it. You know what I'm saying? How can you make it and you don't have a foundation? Like, we coming from 72% of single parent homes where mama is working 2 and 3 jobs to keep up the house. Now she feel like, okay, I can't support you anymore because you're 18, so you got to get out there. You only 18, so what you gonna go do? Work it?
I think it's a different viewpoint, and I'm gonna say it like this is because like in high school, I didn't know of a black family, whether they had a son or a daughter, that allowed their son or daughter's boyfriend or girlfriend to live with them in high school.
Right.
I knew that with white families.
True.
That's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Also, I think when you start talking about single income households or single parent households, I think it may be like, hey, look, if you're not going to work, you need to go. You need to do something. I don't know. I know some parents who, or mothers or fathers, like, hey, look, you get 18, 19, you got to go.
Yeah.
I think it's more so because I can no longer
Support you.
Yeah. In that sense, like, you're a grown man, and I think it's more so the men than the women.
Nah.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
think
have
so?
to disagree with you on
Oh,
that. Young girls are pushed out faster than young boys are.
I think so too.
Yeah, you have young men still, at home with mom, and and I don't.
Well, also I don't see it, but then again, I'm just looking at it from a different viewpoint. Me being a male, I think that a lot of times mothers and daughters, those are the one. It's not a I need you to go. It's like, all right, look, you can't be in my house and think that it ain't gonna be two people getting dick in this house. It's like,
I can't say
it. like you gotta,
Gabby, you're breaking them.
Like you gotta go. But then also, like, on a more mature note, I think at the end of the day, women do mature faster than. That's a proven scientific fact.
Yeah.
Women mature faster than men, and they may reach that point where they're more ready to explore the world faster than a man is. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. Then you got that nest syndrome where a man is like, a woman will take care of her son like no other. Like, that mama's boy mentality, that's real. And I don't know why it's like that, to the sense where, like, that's my baby and he's 40 years old and it's like he ain't ever got to go nowhere.
Right.
But your daughter,
she got to go.
She got to go.
Yeah. And but when you think about that, okay, when you think about the psychology of that, when you think about daughters that are having to be independent because there's this unspoken, I guess, trauma or attitude. I don't know exactly what I would call it, but there's this unspoken issue between mother and daughter relationship within our community, and a lot of daughters are pushed to be independent because mothers are not actually there supporting them, and so a lot of times when girls leave the house, it's not is due to a negative circumstance. It's something that's going on with their mother where they feel like they can't be there anymore, or mom feels like they can't be there anymore. So it's always kind of a negative connotation when a young girl leaves the house. So then she's pushed out, and now she's on her own. But then you look at the statistic of 72% of single parent homes, where most of them are mothers. So it's when you look at being a mama's boy and being pushed out as a young woman, neither of them are, good.
Right.
So what I'm saying?
And I'll add this too, Mike. Even when you start talking about like teenage pregnancy or even being early on, like early 20s and being pregnant, like at the end of the day, like a good majority of the time, if you have a son who has a baby, the baby is not coming to live with you full time. If you have a daughter that has a baby, they're gonna be there. 9 times out of 10, that baby is going to be living there with you. And so now you have the decision to make. Do I want to deal with this as well? And that's just something that I've seen as well. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at the situation. Like if your son and your daughter come in at the same time and say, I got a baby on the way. It's like your son's baby is not going to be there all the time. He can be over the mother's house while your daughter is going to be there. At home with the child. Yeah.
I just feel like already from in the home, we are kind of setting our, we set them up for failure. We're not really preparing we're not preparing at all.
When you talk about your black, and I said this to my daughter's dad, because we did I think we have like 3 college saving funds for Jada. I think they're like maybe 100,000, and I am super adamant about him putting hundreds of dollars in it a month. And he kind of like, she'd be straight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to talk to you in 18 years. So let's get this done.
So let's get this done.
Right. But and I told him about opportunity and the setup, right? The very calculated setup. But I'm very intuitive, and I used to look at my white friends be set up for success, like very. This is the cardio drive. These are the teachers that you will have. You know what I'm saying? And so I told Jada's dad that, and I said, if I had the same setup as my white counterpart, so what we're doing essentially is setting Jada up to be aligned with her. And then we're saying 1, 2, 3, go, and then race and see who's gonna win. We are, because we're the supreme being. But anyway, I said, if I had the same setup as my white counterparts, telling where I would be.
That's right.
But we're not just setting them for success. We're actually putting them behind. So now they starting off. If the race was here, the white person is here, and we're here.
Way back.
So we can't win. So we can't even think about being entrepreneurs, being
you trying to think about,
right? Because we're behind when it comes to the college, when it comes to the mentality, the peace in the home. We're totally behind. So like that's big. It does. Black entrepreneurship, and that business owner in general starts in the home.
Exactly.
And us preparing, enabling, showing our kids. That's why comes to all of our meetings. She comes, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
She said, I want to work for Conscious Conversation. But if you ain't gonna work, you're gonna own it.
That's right. My kids,
you know what I'm saying?
The same thing. I bring them to work with me, and I show, they like, you going to SSM today? I'm like, yeah, and they like, oh, I want to work when I get out. No, I'm setting this up so you can own it. This is what you will own when you get older. You don't have to work for anybody else, And so I feel like that's important, that we set our children up to succeed. Like, we don't set our children up to succeed. In our minds, we feel like we're setting our children up to be independent, but really you're setting them up to be dependent on another system besides you. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're being dependent on their employees, dependent on welfare, dependent on this, dependent on that, and they're not really able to sustain on their own. You have all these, people out here that are getting benefits. You have all these people out here that are working measly 9-to-5 jobs, making, little to nothing. And they're not really, and then you have them out here having low self-esteem. They don't think they can do this. They don't think they can have a business. They don't think they can do this. And I met a young girl the other day, and one of the accounts we work at, my husband, he's so bold. We work together. He's gonna walk up to her, telling us, "You need a job? Why are you at this girl job? Asking her, does she need a job?" I swear to God. And I was like, so she's like, she came out there and talked to us. She was like, yes. She was like, I want to work for a black-owned business. She was like, because I feel like I'm at the point where I can't move up no more here. And she was like, I want to be around positivity and growth. And I'm like, that's what we all about. I'm like, I want to help you get to where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? I want you, if you want to come in and work, what you making here, I'll pay you more. You know what I'm saying?
Where was that
at TGI Fridays.
Because you go clean them. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and she was just telling me how, I have 2 kids. I want to, do better. I want to do more. And, she said she wanted to go to school for counseling and things like that. Okay. I got a building, licensed clinical social worker in there. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So we have to, even though I
can hear your husband saying you need a job.
Yeah, he did. I was like, how you gonna walk up to this girl? She was like, yeah, he gonna walk up to me in front of everybody. So I was like, you need a job? And she was like, I can't believe you came with me. But yes, I do. Right. So, I feel like, even though, we dropped the ball in the home, so we got to pick up the ball in the community. So, we got to be willing to, to help elevate our people, because a lot of us, like I said, they want to do it. A lot of them don't have self-esteem. They come from, families where, they weren't set up to believe that they can have a business. They can be more. They can do more. So it's important that we do push that for each other. I just, the black-owned businesses, we just need more. We need more support. We need more support in our communities. We have to start conditioning ourselves to buy black first, and if you,
I think you gotta, what you said, when you give people an outlet to say, okay, this is who is black, You know, these are businesses that are black owned.